Is scraplifting cheating, or is it actually just one of the fastest ways to become a better scrapbooker? Well, today we are diving into one of the most debated topics in the scrapbooking community. And by the end of this episode, you might see scraplifting in a completely different way. Welcome to the Crafty Maven Getaway podcast. I'm your host, Deanna.
And I'm Megan. Thanks so much for joining us today. We are on episode 20.
Morning. Woo. It's so crazy. I know we talk about this quite often, but it's just so crazy to me. Like when you think about all the episodes we did last year and then on this year, I'm like, it feels like such a big accomplishment. And I love that we have something that each week we can provide for the community to like help bring topics to talk about and stuff. And I know there's multiple people that I hear from who are like, oh, it's on my list for Saturdays to listen to. And so it just makes my heart happy.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, because I remember like looking forward to like all the podcasts that we used to listen to, like Scrapbooking Roundtable and Tracy and oh my gosh, I'm totally drawing a blank. I can't even think of her name. Yeah.
Oh, Tracy and yes.
Wow. And I loved her. I'm totally drawing a blank. Like, can't even.
I can see her. I can see her.
Yep, Tiffany. I can see her face. Tiffany, yes. I knew it started with a P. I'm like, oh my God, how could I forget this?
I took my lion's mane today, so my brain is on fire. Not really. I didn't work today. So, well, okay, I did work. I did scrapbooking stuff, but
yay, that's exciting.
So maybe it just makes me smarter. See, that's really the key. Yeah. That's what I need to tell everyone and my husband that see this. I need to just stay home because scrapbooking makes my brain work better.
It does. When you're enjoying what you do, definitely does.
It is. I've been able to brag a little bit about myself this year, and there's been a couple people, the nurse where I get my infusions, she's like, I love scrapbooking. I was mentioning something about being a business owner, and she's like, really? And then she's like, oh, and people are always like, oh my gosh. And it's like, not like there's a ton of people who own businesses, but then I forget just like how it is such an accomplishment, right? When you do something like, and you start something all on your own, right? So anyway, hashtag girl boss. Anyway, okay.
I just slide that in there.
But no, I remember like doing tons of cleaning and like listening to a podcast and then getting on and talking to you about what it was about. So it brings tons of fun memories. And then I remember when we started Scrappy Chats in the group, and we would just get on live essentially and chat about whatever. And so that's really how we started. And so now it's a little bit more, but it's still that laid back feeling. And that's what I love about it. So it's just us scrapping with some coffee. I probably am more caffeinated. Yeah, caffeinated.
Caffeinated?
Okay. Maybe the lion's mane isn't working as great as I said, or the scrapbooking.
That was hilarious.
Oh, well. Anyway, okay. Maybe I should switch over to water. Okay, so today we're going to talk about scraplifting. And this was something that you brought up to me. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. Because we've kind of touched on scraplifting a little bit, but we really haven't dug in and talked about scraplifting, because I do feel like this is a topic that gets really dicey really quickly, and people have so many opinions on it. So
and very like differing opinions too.
Yes. So I can't wait till when we post this, putting it in the group. So if you're not a part of our Facebook group, definitely you need to check the link down in the description, because I always have that in there, and you guys can join the conversation there, or you can join it in the comments below. I'll make sure I have a pinned element so you can add your own opinion about scrap lifting, because I love to hear what other people's opinions are, because I'm always surprised, like completely surprised at like all the different things, and people get like really they're really opinionated when it comes to that, and I just
yes.
I don't, but anyway, that's okay. And the disclaimer is this is just Megan and I's own view on scrap lifting. You are welcome, and I encourage you to have your own ideas about scrap lifting, because I think that's one of the great things about scrapbooking in general is that it's about you and your style and your reason why. And so I don't want to discourage people, you know. So if you need to yell at us when you're listening, that is fine. We will hear you from afar.
Of course we will.
Okay. So, Megan, answer for me. What is scrap lifting for anybody who doesn't know?
So, scrap lifting is when you take somebody else's scrapbook page and you copy it, basically. And of course, like when you copy it, you can do it exactly the same. And I always say give credit where credit is due. So if you do that and you're posting on social media or whatever, I would either link to the person's layout or say, this is who I found it from, and this is where I found it if you found it on Pinterest. And I think that's where the controversy comes from,
Yeah.
because a lot of people want credit. Where, yes, I agree, like, definitely. If you're going to copy somebody's layout and it wasn't your original idea, it's just kind,
Yeah.
give that person a shout out. But the reason I like scraplifting is because I can tweak it to what I want my layout to look like.
Yeah.
So, and I think that that's where the joy and the love of scraplifting comes, is at least like in the YouTube community, we take somebody else's idea and we make it work for us. And I
Yeah.
think that's why I love scraplifting and why I really like honestly don't think it needs to be this huge controversial thing, like because it's still going to be my own layout, it's still going to be like
Mhm.
something that I created. And so like definitely give credit where credit is due, but basically it's just copying somebody else.
Yeah. So, okay. With that said, what is the biggest difference between a sketch and scrap lifting?
Because a sketch isn't really like I don't know how to explain that. That's like difficult. Like I was like, well, this is a sketch, but then I was like, but wait a minute, like they're both
Because
just ideas.
it's just the design, right?
Yeah, it's
Because
just a
essentially,
design.
when you scrap lift, you're taking someone's layout, you're taking the design that they used, and you are
Yeah,
using yourself,
right.
right? I think the issue is, and uh, the biggest difference that I see is that there was somebody actually made the layout and posted that layout. And so,
Yeah.
especially with scrap lifting, and I see, so, and this is where the lines get blurry, right? Between sketches and scrap lifting. And I only bring this up because I was looking up, like, what are people Googling about it? Because I want to, like, I'd like to know, and I like to try to get a little bit of information so that I can think about what should we talk about, how should we
Right.
word it. But that was something that stuck out to me, because I was like, well, essentially, even when you use a sketch, you should be tying it to the person who made the sketch. And
Yes.
there is often a lot of times people use sketches and they'll just say, oh, I used a sketch, but they won't tell you who the sketch is.
Yeah,
And some
that's true.
sketches you pay for, like Scrapbook Generation, you pay for their
Yeah,
sketches,
yeah,
and like, so you can share the layout without sharing the sketch, right?
right.
And obviously if you're on the design team, you're gonna say, oh, this is where I got the sketch. But like, there's sometimes when you're on Pinterest, you won't even know who originally did the sketch, because by the time it gets copied and pasted, like people share it and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And that happens even a lot of times on Pinterest too, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Is
yeah.
where it gets shared a few times and you're not really sure exactly who did the layout. Well, sometimes you can tell, if you're in the know, if you will, like if you're somebody
Yeah.
who is chronically online and looking for
Yes.
inspiration, which
Oh,
I know
yes.
or you're someone who I'm trying to think of like some people are just better at remembering and recognizing other people's work. And I feel like back in the day when we would use like magazines more and probably even Pinterest, not to say we don't use Pinterest more, because I think it's just morphed a little bit of how we use it. But
Oh, yeah.
it used to be that Pinterest was like one of the big places to get
Oh,
inspiration for your
definitely.
layouts, right? Or a
Oh,
place to
yeah.
put layouts. I feel like we don't utilize it as much anymore. It's
Yeah.
because it's more Instagram,
Right.
essentially, I think is a bigger place, or even Facebook too. But anyway, so like as it gets shared on Pinterest, you can share a pin and sometimes you lose. It's like the telephone game. You lose who that layout is, especially if it's not a design team layout. If it's a design team layout, it'll have their name on it and you can tell. But it's like
Right.
I've seen a lot of Sue's Fish's layouts just get passed because hers always got a lot of
Oh, yeah.
right. So hers are lovely to look at,
Hmm.
but she wasn't usually on design teams.
Yeah.
So and like obviously there's some people that we know, but I feel like without using magazines so much, there's not as we just have a different way of using like designers and stuff. It's not quite the
Yeah.
same. It's maybe
Yeah.
not so celebrity-ish. Like there are like, but even like Vicky Boot and stuff, like I couldn't tell you if I seen her work without her name on it. I don't know if I would have told you that it's her.
Oh,
I mean, she
really?
obviously has her own style and she
Yeah.
designs her own stuff, but like
Yeah.
her layouts are like a lot of other people who do mixed media.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
As opposed to like Paige Evans, you could definitely tell a
yeah,
Paige Evans page
yeah, right.
from like, yeah, anybody else's. Definitely. Yeah, I guess I could see that.
And
Yeah.
I think it's because she like Vicky, where she uses more mixed media stuff, and it's the background, it's all of the things together. Where like Paige, I don't want, and like Paige is definitely one that you can tell right away, but it's because she uses certain techniques the
Hmm.
same way, right? She
Yes.
always does stitching. Her
Yeah.
stitching is like the whole page.
Yes. Oh,
It's
yeah.
a lot of.
Yeah.
That's the first inspiration, whatever. But anyway, so it's hard to say because like, and even sometimes scrap lifting started with a sketch,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but definitely a sketch is just the design itself. So there's no papers attached to it. And once again, I was gonna say that like with scrap lifting, a lot you see either people who want to use the exact same papers and products, um, and that you're going to know right away that that was a scrap lift, where there's some people who don't use any of the same products or stuff. It's just the design that they're looking for.
Right.
Do you generally, when you pick a layout to scrap lift, are you looking at it as a design element, or are you using it because it's just pretty and then you're going to use obviously you're using your own stuff because I know you don't like
Right.
copy it straight up, but
Yeah. I
and that's
don't like to.
we'll have more of that conversation as we
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
But
Right. I think for me, that's a hard question to give like a straight answer for because I feel like I do it both ways. I
mhm.
think it depends on who I'm scrap lifting. So somebody, excuse me, somebody like Paige Evans, I would probably scrap lift her because her pages are pretty.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, and not that she doesn't have a design focus or anything,
Oh yeah.
but I think from my perspective, that's the reason why I would pick somebody like Paige Evans versus, gosh, I can't even think of anybody else. We'll just use Vicky Booten. I would probably pick Vicky Booten because of how she designed her page, because she's got mixed media on there. So she's got like multiple different types of
Yeah.
things going on her page. And
Yeah.
so, like, those are two different types of scrapbookers. So I think it depends. Like, if
I'm
I
sure.
wanted to sign something pretty, I'm going to go to like Paige Evans, or I can't think of anybody else, of course, but somebody that's it just looks pretty. But if I'm
Yeah.
looking for like, okay, I want to design some sort of page, I'm going to go to like, I'll probably pick, Vicky Booten or you, like, and specifically if I want to do mixed media. I
Mm-hmm.
will look at scraplifting somebody that's heavy in the mixed media. Or if I want like somebody that does a lot of photos, like I'll choose somebody else that, like has a lot of photos on their page. So it just kind of depends on the look that I'm going for.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's not really a
You,
straightforward answer.
do you know if you have a person that you've scrap lift quite a bit? Like somebody that you can think of?
Oh gosh. No, not really.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't done a lot of scrap lifting. I used to do scrap lifting a lot, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. That was a lot. I loved doing that.
I feel
Um,
like when we started the Crafty Maven Getaway, that was a big thing that we were all
yes.
doing. So,
Oh
and just
yeah.
FYI, the Crafty Maven Getaway is about 11 years old now. So,
No,
happy
crazy.
anniversary, the Crafty Maven.
Yeah.
Um, YouTube reminded me that today. So I just
Oh,
thought
did
I'd
they?
share that. Yes.
That's fun.
Probably because it must have been when I started the channel when we were getting ready.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
don't think we really started posting until the July, like the beginning of July.
I was
So,
gonna say, I remember it being, yeah, July, August,
if you
somewhere
want to
around
see
there.
something super cringy, go back and watch the first episode where I am explaining what the Crafty Maven is supposed to be.
Maybe you should link that video.
I will link it. I will link it right now. No, well,
I
right
I
in
kind of
this area.
I
So
kind of want to
look
go back
in
and
the
watch it.
whatever, because I'll
Yes,
have
the
a little
description.
and
Yeah.
I've been anyway doing chapters, and so hopefully I'll probably
Oh,
do that here. That way people can like come back to
yes.
my areas. So because I'm trying to think if there's people that I've consistently scrap lifted, and I don't think I have.
Mm-mm.
Like you, I used to scrap lift a lot more, and I think because it was like the thing that we were doing,
Yeah.
and it was really fun. Well, remember when we did uh that series? It was a it was basically a scrap lifting series where it was like the telephone game, and you would get a layout and you had to
Yes.
scrap lift it, and then somebody else would get it.
Yes.
Christina uh redefined creative. So
Yes.
I don't know if
I
her
think
channel is
so.
still up. If it is,
I
I'll
don't
link it
know.
below. But because she was the one who started that series, or I
Yeah,
think it was her. If
I
it's
think it
not,
was her.
if it wasn't her idea, um,
It
then
might
I
have been
apologize.
hers
Her
and
or
Christie's or
was it her
Sarah.
and Christy? Maybe I should ask Sarah. So because she
Yeah,
might
Sarah
remember.
would know.
Um, but anyway, so you would get, for anybody who doesn't know, the telephone game. When we did that for a while, it was
Oh
super fun,
gosh.
but we would get
Yeah.
a layout. So like somebody would either, I think they picked a layout to scrap lift, or maybe they just created a layout, and then you would send it
Yeah.
to the next person in the chain, and that
Mhm.
person would scrap lift it and then give it to somebody else. So, and
Yeah.
you did this like 5 or 6 times, and
Yeah.
it was super fun. It, like, by the time it got to the end, it looked like a completely different layout, but it was super
Yeah.
fun. And
It
some
was.
people stuck to the scrap lift and some people did not.
Yeah.
Um, so that probably was really, I mean, I know I've scrap lifted, and I know it's like sometimes in the group where it's all of the like hop groups, for a lot of
Yes.
times when you're helping celebrate somebody's channel hitting a certain milestone, you'll scrap lift a layout or
Yeah.
something. And did we have a scrap lifting thing when we started?
The
When
CMG? Yeah,
Yeah,
we did.
last year, right? We said pick, or was it just
Yeah,
create a layout? I thought
I
it
don't
was.
remember now.
I don't know. Because we had a hop.
Yeah, we
We
did.
started it last year, but anyway.
Yes.
But yeah, so I can't think of somebody in particular that I know I've scrap lifted multiple times. I'm sure there is. Um, but I mean, and we used to do a lot of scrap lifting on the CMG because we
Oh,
had a
yeah.
date for it.
Yep,
So,
we did. Yeah.
but we always made sure that everybody gave credit because, like you said, that I think that's the biggest thing. So, because one of the questions
Mhm.
is like, is it okay to actually scrap lift? Like, and I think that's one of the
Yeah.
things that people get tripped up on is it actually okay? And I think that this is like a dual answer question, or like, you can answer it a couple different ways depending on why are you wanting to scrap?
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Well, and I kind of feel like too, sometimes people take things the wrong way
Hmm.
and blow it out of proportion. And I'm not saying that to like undermine anybody's feelings or anything, but like in the grand scheme of things, if you didn't want somebody to copy you, why are you posting it online? I
Yeah.
don't know. Like that's where my brain goes. And if there's anybody out there that doesn't agree with me, then like
Comments
totally,
below. Comments below if
yes.
you disagree.
Like let us
And
know.
why?
And
And I'll
we,
like
yeah,
seriously. And it's not
right.
not not because we want to have like distasteful discourse about it, because we
No,
want it to be
no.
like,
Yeah.
but truly, like, there is, you know uh, I kind of have the same feeling, like, okay, you're posting it and you want people to be inspired, right? That's
Yes.
part of why we share what we share online, and why we share it with our friends in the Facebook groups. It's like, because we want people to be inspired. So it's like, do you not want people to be inspired, or is it that you like, and I can understand not wanting a lot of like fuss around your work and or something like that, but I feel like it's a form of flattery, right?
That's
It's like,
what I've
I was
always
inspired by
thought.
your stuff so much that I really wanted to use like your design. I really thought it was cool. And there's people that I've seen and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really love this. Is it
Yeah.
okay if I scrap lift? And a lot of times I try to ask before, just
Mm,
to kind of get a gauge, especially if it's somebody I don't know.
mm.
And especially like
Yeah.
now, there's a lot more scrapbookers that I don't know than just because it that's how our
Yeah.
industry is. You get
Oh,
people
yeah.
who aren't sharing as much or whatever. And so if I'm not sure, I will ask and be like, hey, is it okay if I do that? And I like, so, and just FYI, if anybody ever wants to scrap lift me, like, go right
Oh,
ahead,
yeah.
because I don't care.
Definitely.
Just, like always, you do want to make sure that your people know that you're scrap lifting, and what, like, tag the person. It's super easy now to tag people.
Right. Yeah.
so so
Yeah.
it's but like but with that said, if you are just scrap lifting for your own and you're not sharing it, like,
Hmm.
I don't know,
Yeah.
like, how many people's work, if you got to think about, like, back when magazines were the thing again, you would take people would take layouts and they would scrap lift them and put them in their own albums. Do you think they were telling the designer back then? So your family is it, and that's the other thing, is your family's not gonna know. They don't know who so and so is.
Right.
And honestly, over the years, and I will say that is one thing, like, over the years, there's probably layouts that I have in my albums and in my stash that I've scrap lift, especially at the beginning, because I feel like that is one easy way to learn stuff,
It is.
especially when you're new and you're not really sure about the design.
Yeah.
Um, and so, but I don't remember. So if I reshare a layout, I might not remember that I scrap lift.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
there,
I wonder
I
if that is the problem too.
that could
Like
be the problem.
maybe, maybe people aren't realizing like, oh, this was created a long time ago. She doesn't remember, like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
So it
know.
could easily get slipped that, oh yeah. But then at that point, is it, well, I don't know. I was gonna say, is that point, like, does it even matter that it was a scrap lift if it
Yeah.
was so long ago? Do you like, but I mean, it does matter for sure. It does
Yeah.
matter if you're sharing it online. It does matter if you can
Yeah.
remember that you scrap lifted it. It does, because we want designers to get the credit where it's
Right.
due. It's like there's so
Yeah.
many times in this industry, and I think that's really partly also why it is becomes more of a controversy, is that there are
Mhm.
so many times where people get discredited, like they get their stuff, their ideas and their work um stolen essentially. And
Yeah.
it's like if you've been burned one or two times by random whatever that is taking your
Yeah.
stuff, it's like that's kind of defeating. But like, but then on the other flip side of that, there is only so many ways you can do things, and there are certain like design elements that is always going to be kind of similar. It's like there's been times I've seen people do things that I know I did, and I wondered, I'm like, did they see something, me or somebody else who used something that was mine? And then so
Mhm.
down the grapevine, it's gotten
Yeah.
lost. Like, because
Yeah.
like I used to do like big brush strokes like in lines on my layout, and I did that quite a bit. It was something that I did a lot, and for a while I was one of the only people who did it. And then all of a sudden I started seeing other people do it, and it's like you just don't know, because the thing is there's not really a lot of new ideas.
Yeah.
But and sometimes you see something online and you're like, oh, that's really cool. Because like that's the other element of it. Are you inspired by a layout, or are you so are people using being inspired by something as scrap lifting, right? Like
Mhm.
confusing the two, because like what difference really is it that if you're inspired by a layout versus scrap lifting? Like, is that the same thing?
That's a good question. Because, I mean, honestly, I feel like if you were inspired by something, I think like I personally would still credit that person and
Mm-hmm.
be like, this is the photo or whatever that I saw, and it
Yeah.
inspired me to make this, and it's completely different, or it's the same, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
whether it turns out the same or not, I probably would share. This is what I was inspired by. Well, and we had a series with some of our
Yeah.
friends, like, that was called Inspired By.
Yeah.
And that was a really fun series because all of our layouts always, they were always like completely different.
Different. And we were
And
inspired
it was, yeah, we were
by the same
all just,
piece.
yes, exactly. And that was really fun to see. And
Mhm.
so, like, it is kind of nice to see, like, where people get their idea and then how they used that idea. Because
Yeah.
then I feel like even then, between the two different ideas, other people can be inspired and come up with something completely different, Like, and I feel like at that point, that is different than scrap lifting.
Yeah.
Like, because it's not really a copy. Because I would think scrap lifting is just the most basic. It's a copy,
Yeah.
like carbon copy of this thing. And if it changes when it's your style, then that's great. If it doesn't and it's exactly the same, then that's good too. Just give somebody that credit.
Yeah. But like, and well, and more to that, like when you're inspired by something, you might just take one little element, and sometimes it's just the
Yeah.
technique. And in that case, if it's a technique that other people have done very similar, it's like, yes, I'm not saying that you shouldn't credit. If you see a layout and you say, oh, that person, I love the technique that they did, and you were inspired by it, yes, you can, should, if you can, share. But there's a lot of times I'll see an artist do something, and sometimes it's not even in the scrapbooking realm. It'll just be something that
Mhm.
I've seen like art wise. And I'll just take one little tiny element of it. I won't use the whole thing. So it's like, it was just, I seen something and it sparked an idea for something else. And sometimes I will mention, like, because sometimes I'll see that and then I'll push it back in my brain and I'll come back to that idea way later. And I might not have remembered where I saved, like where I've seen it, because sometimes I'm really bad about saving stuff. So, but I will automatically say I seen something, on, and like I'll at least mention that I seen something else that made me think about doing this element, just so people know that like it wasn't, not to say that what I came up with was anything like what I seen. So, but there is sometimes where it's like, oh, I seen somebody do splatters. Like, so does that mean that the person, like, it's a weird line, because it's like, do I tag every person that I've seen do splatters just because I now want to try splatters and I do splatters on something and I was inspired? So like, there's certain elements of things that I think we have to have grace about it. We have to.
Yes,
right.
I agree. I definitely agree. And that's why I was saying, like, I feel like some people are really, really uptight about it. And just like, I feel like it doesn't need to be that uptight. Like, yes, if you specifically use somebody's layout, give them credit. But if you just take bits and pieces of an idea, design has been around for hundreds upon thousands of years. Like there really isn't any new ideas. And if you're using a 12 by 12 canvas or even smaller, I mean, there's really not, I don't know, like it just, when I hear those stories of people being really uptight, like, I can't believe this happened. It's like, dude, like, just let it go. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it will be okay. And this one person forgot, and I'm sorry that it hurt your feelings, but like, let it go. I don't know.
Well, and I think sometimes people see things a lot. Once again, I'm going to go back to my striped layout, right? It's like sometimes you will know that you did something and you'll see something similar and you'll be like, huh. And some people's brain automatically goes to, they copied my idea. They copied my thing. Instead of giving grace and going, maybe they just decided to do it on their own. Like, sometimes we just come up with things, and sometimes it is because we've seen something a long time ago and it gets stored in our brain and we just don't remember that we've seen it. Like, that is a thing, and it is okay to like, it's okay. It's okay. But I mean, I do get that, like, sometimes people do steal ideas and they would never admit it either. So I can understand being upset, because sometimes, it's like, we all have been in a friend group in scrapbooking where, that there was somebody else who you're pretty sure was doing something, or it's like, I know, like, our group, when we were really close with Christy and Sarah and Beth, it's like there was many times where we would just be like, we got to let this go, because we'd see other scrapbookers doing their own thing, and I always remember Sarah's words is, I don't have time for drama. It's like, I'm gonna mind my own business, because it's like, it's not worth it. It's like, we do this because we love it. So, but with that said, we all, like, there's certain people that has a tendency to do things that appear to be something, and like, you might not be able to prove it, but it's like, is it just that you're thinking, like, you're being more narcissistic in that moment? Because sometimes it is, like,
oh yeah, it just hits you the wrong way. Like, I remember my ex designed my old, like, Crafty Meggy logo, and he did like a brush stroke thing. And I remember very vividly the brush strokes behind your YouTube name was very popular. But I remember I don't know if I was like the first one to start it. I probably wasn't, but like I remember being one of the first ones. And then somebody that I thought I was really good friends with copied me. And I was like, oh my God, she copied me, like, and I was
Yeah.
really upset about it. But honestly, it didn't matter,
Yeah,
like
right.
it
Sometimes we
honestly
just
did not
and I
matter.
get sometimes we just get in like a self mode, right? We just get
Yes.
in that
Oh,
mode
yes.
where it's like those little
The
things
mean girls.
bother us and we can't let it go.
Yes.
And I
Yep.
mean, it's human nature, right? It's human
Yeah.
nature to want to
Right.
get credit if you're pretty
Yeah.
sure that you're the one who deserves to get the credit. But once
Right.
again, sometimes it's hard to know
Exactly.
where that idea came from. And like this
Right.
happens a lot when you see fashion, like, and scrapbooking always kind of mirrors what is happening in fashion and decor and stuff. Or at
Yeah.
least it used to be, maybe not so much. I feel like it's kind of going away from that. And it's interesting. And I don't know if it's because of the way how fast social media is now and people's like
Yeah, it
attention
might be.
are so much slower. And so because it used to be like, oh, llamas or cactus or the mustache, like everything had
Oh
mustaches or
gosh.
like the pineapple thing. Everybody was using
Yep.
pineapples for stuff and decor. And so it shows up in scrapbooking. And it's like, so there's different elements like that kind, with like the brush strokes. Like it did like who
Yes.
do we really know where it started? Can
Yeah.
we really say it was one person who, it's like, and yes, if you're at the beginning part of that, it does, you're like, hey, I was at the beginning. Can people not give me credit? But it's like, do you need to have the
Do you
credit?
need it?
Okay if you don't. But I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. So this is where I know this is where people get really upset,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of times it's the people who have been burned that know for sure that their stuff has been taken
Oh yeah.
and people lie about it, because that's the other thing is like there are certain people that just won't admit at
Oh,
all
right.
that
Yeah.
maybe they've seen it and were inspired and thought, oh hey, I'll utilize something from this. So well, and like there's a whole bunch of different ways you can scrap lift.
Oh
So,
yeah.
you know,
We go
anyway,
back to that. There's no new ideas.
there are no new ideas. There are none. No, no. I mean, there's ideas that maybe we didn't do for a while, and so a resurgence.
Right.
That's always really fun, when you see a layout design that you haven't seen for a while, and then it becomes fresh again, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
Well, and I just think there are certain techniques that are always going to be look really similar, and so it can appear to be like scrap lifted. Um, like right now, the starburst or the sunburst, I say starburst, the sunburst is like really popular. A
Mm,
lot of people are doing it, but does that mean that everybody's copying each other, or is it just a popular thing? So that's the other aspect of it, is like how much of it is that it's just a trendy, popular thing to do. And so
right.
everybody's wanting because they're inspired by it. Once
Yeah.
again, it's like that. It's inspiration and stuff. Okay, so when you scrap lift, do you like? I might have mentioned this, and we kind of. So if I'm talking in circles, I am sorry. Do you like to copy it right? Like copy it, or do you twist it up, or do you do a